Your second year, different for you than the first? What does your teaching change? Things like that.
No, I just think a little more comfortable. Kind of got the hang of the schedule. You know, like when I came in, COVID was still going on. So, you know, I started off most of my meetings on Zoom with the guys. So it's kind of back to the more of a normal schedule. So I can kind of, you know, this basically feels back to normal.
What do you see from the growth and development of your guys?
Consistency.
Okay.
So there's always the flash plays from Dante and Taj and those things, but Jordan Jefferson's coming along. Zyke Lawton, Sean Martin, Torres Simmons are all flashing there. So I like, you know, when I got those guys in there, there's really no change in what's going on in the field. Like you can't notice the second units in there.
You feel good with what you got right now?
I do.
Talk about some of the younger guys to start with. You know, Hammond Russell, Zyke Lawton, some of those guys that haven't seen action here in the past.
Ham looks really good for a young guy. He's got some natural strength to him. He's growing and learning to play that nose guard position. He's a tough kid, very physical, so he looks really good. Zyke Lawton's been a pleasant surprise. You know, you really don't. I think guys forget that he's only been college one semester before coming here. He's given us a nice little spark plug, and again, I love coaching West Virginia kids, like I said before. So, I mean, he's got a different mindset because this is home for him.
Size-wise, is he where he needs to be, or does he need to get a little bit bigger? Or?
He needs to get a little bit bigger. He hadn't had a real offseason yet. You know, again, he went to college when COVID, you know, quarantine kind of started. So, this is really his first true cycle in the weight room in college. You know.
Best attribute, quickness, maybe, or
quickness, very much so, very much so. And he's got a tremendous knowledge of the game. He's a true football guy. He eats and drinks football.
What do you think comfortably he can play at?
I don't know. I'll let Mike Joseph handle that. I'll let him just kind of run with him this summer and see where it goes. Right. Again, as long as he has that quickness, I don't mind how big he gets.
Where's Jordan at now compared to when you first got here, and how have you seen him develop?
He's always been a strong sucker. I mean, that joker's big and strong, but I think his confidence is through the roof now. I think he knows physically he could hang with anybody in this conference, anybody in the league. And I think when we, really solidified it was that game against Minnesota, that offensive line that was bigger than most offensive lines in the NFL. I mean, he held his own in there. So I think he's a guy that we can really rely on to be the centerpiece of our defense.
Size-wise, he's got what you need at nose, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't stand in front of that joker too many times doing any drills with him.
Neil mentioned the rest of camp you guys were going to maybe tinker a little bit technique-wise, maybe a little bit, maybe some 3s to 5 and so forth. Explain what you're thinking there.
Just trying to be more versatile. I think when you have guys that can play multiple positions, I think it makes the defense deeper. You build depth from within. Also able to go 3 down to 4 down and play against some of these heavier sets with different guys. So, again, it's just teaching the game more and getting guys exposed to doing more things.
How many you got, you think? Would you say 6, 7?
I think I got 7 guys I could trust right now to go in the game.
7 guys?
Yep.
Dante, obviously he's a little limited this spring, but just from last season to this, what areas you ask him to improve on and try to do?
Just relax and play. He's got all the natural physical gifts. He knows what to do. Just with him, it's just slowing everything down in his mind and not putting so much pressure on himself.
He mentioned when we talked to him earlier that he came back for a specific reason. He wanted to prove that he could be a consistent everyday player. Is he getting closer to being there?
Very much so. Very much so. Like I said, he's just taking the pressure off himself. When Dante screws up, he tries too hard. He's naturally gifted. He just has to go out there and play the game. I always tell him it's a child's game he's been playing for a long time, and just go out there and be a kid and have fun.
I mean, there's some plays he made last year. You're like, whoa. I remember that interception he made and some different things. I mean, you look at him and you see those things, and you're like, wow, if he could just do it all the time, you got yourself something, right?
Absolutely. And again, he's a guy. You don't tell him too much. I literally just try to slow his mind down. I mean, he knows exactly what to do, and it just naturally happens to him anyway. So I just tell him to don't go out there trying to make one of those special plays. Just play the game, and it'll happen.
How do you keep Jefferson from trying to become versatile and just be himself?
They're two different deals. I mean, Keem was more that athletic guy. Jordan's more that Mack truck. Just go out there and tell him to be Jordan Jefferson.
When when something like that happens, do you have to deal with the kid a little differently as far as letting him know that there's more on him, but that it doesn't really change what he is?
No, I coach guys' strengths. I coach guys' strengths, and I try to limit their weaknesses for them. I mean, I try to go what they naturally have to do, and I don't try to change that. I just try to make them more well-rounded. So, I just try to get Jordan to make some of those athletic plays, but again, I'm going to go in there and let him be the Mack truck.
Does that change your defense a little bit? Because I know the first couple of years Jordan was here, relied on quickness a little bit more, gaps, that kind of thing. But now that you've got some bigger guys that can get a little more push, does that maybe change a little bit how you can do things?
Definitely changes some things. Again, we're going to adjust the defense to the strengths of what we have. So if we're not going to be moving around doing as many things, that's fine, because Jordan Jefferson's the type of guy that he embraces going there and getting double teamed. So that's exactly what we'll let him do.
Obviously, if you can push that center back into the quarterback's face, and that takes care of a lot of things, right?
No doubt. I'm a results guy. We're going to get as long as the job gets done, I'm good. Right. I don't really care what it looks like.
Do you need to add another, a portal guy, or are you comfortable with what you got?
I don't know. I mean, that's above my pay grade. I get out there and coach the guys I have. So, I mean, you have to ask Coach Brown on that one.
But you never have enough, do you?
Never have enough.
Never heard a coach say that.
Never have enough. I'd love to do it like hockey, where I could just roll in guys and hop over a wall 4 and 5 at a time if I could.
I'm guessing you got more than you had at some of the other places you've been at.
Oh yeah. You guys know my background. I come from small places, so.
But along those lines, when you come from a place like that, you have to be resourceful.
Absolutely.
Does that help you now, knowing that, okay, maybe I got a weakness here, we can do some things, tweak some things? You see that a little bit?
Absolutely. And again, that's kind of building that versatility, just mixing and matching guys. And, one lineup you have your speed lineup, one lineup you have your big lineup, one lineup you have your guys that you do different things with, or you mix around your personnels and packages. So, again, it's all about putting the kids in the best situations they could for themselves and for their skill sets.
And what do you think your group does best right now?
Right now, I think that the style of play more so than X's and O's, I think I have a bunch of guys that will go in there and get in a fist fight with any low line in the country. And I think you can coach that, and you can develop that into anything you really want to, because the want to is there.
A guy we kind of sleep on is Taj.
Oh yeah,
you kind of take him for granted a little bit, and here's a guy that's.
Well, if you're around Taj on a daily basis, our mentality that we're going to go against anybody is set by Taj. He's not afraid of anything, and more times than not, I got to pull the reins back on him and slow him down more than anything. Which again, you rather tell him to whoa than giddy up.
His development, and could he have a role in particular packages, or could he eventually be an every down guy?
Sean will eventually be an every down guy. I think you won't notice the difference when Sean's out there with Dante or Jordan, or if given Taj or below. I think he can play every package. He can line up on the edge and play. He can play some at 3 technique. He's been more than a pleasant surprise. He's grown into what we all thought he was going to be.
He played almost exclusively end last year. Are you playing him more at tackle or some at tackle?
Oh yeah, he's going to play everywhere. He's going to play everywhere probably but nose guard.
How many noses do you have right now?
4.
You have 4?
Yep, that's 4.
Who?
Give me 4.
Jordan and Hammond. But
Jordan Hammond. I got Eddie Vestorinen, and then I got Jalen Thornton, who could play both positions as well, who's having a great spring as well.
Yeah.
About your Bandits, Bill said you need more from them. How do you develop, I guess, more production and consistency?
I mean, Coach Leslie really coaches those guys, so I'll let him speak on it.
I guess you don't coach them differently, but what is the difference when you're playing a true 3-man front, the Bandits off the line, versus, when they're at the end? How do assignments change? Do you feel like your linemen are more comfortable one alignment over the other right now?
No, I wouldn't say so. I think we do it more to give offenses things to prepare for. I think we have a bunch of unique different body types that we can mix and match in different places. So again, it's twofold. It's one, putting the kids in a position to be successful, and again, making people prepare for us.
You guys have been pretty comfortable shifting from 3 to 4-man fronts. Is that by design, or is that just because you had to, because you were lacking personnel? Because you've got that flexibility now to do that.
I can't let you in all the secrets. I can't let you in all the secrets.
But it is something that you guys have worked hard on.
Oh yeah. We spent a lot of time on it.
number of veterans you mentioned that are going to play a lot of time, and you have, I guess, kind of an old team. You're going to lose some of these players naturally, but you also have a crop of young players that maybe don't have to be out there and thrown into the fire. That can watch and develop too. It's an interesting balance of almost extremes.
Yeah.
A little bit too. Beneficial, or would you rather have more of a blend?
Repeat that one?
Is it nice to have those extremes, like really older guys and really younger guys? And a number of those younger guys may not have to play a whole lot this year.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually they will, but I don't know if it's one of those things where you want to play them if they're not ready. Would you rather play them just to get them experience?
It's great because I have two basically assistant coaches. I have Taj Alston and Dante Stills who played a ton of snaps. So sometimes when I'm on, section 4 of mathematics, they can bring me back down to freshman 101 and kind of talk to those young guys. And then they also can put it on tape and explain what they're doing in a different way than I can.
One of those young guys, Eric Burton, he's obviously undersized right now, at least weight. What do you see from him? Just get in the weight room and get bigger, stronger?
Oh, yeah, get in the weight room and then training table.